You ever stand in a room so quiet you can hear somebody's pride crack wide open? I have front row seat, 3 feet from the defense table, sweat running down my spine even though the AC in County Courtroom 6 felt like winter. My name's Marcus Hayes, scholarship junior at Kingsley Academy, and the story I'm about to tell you isn't really about might. It's about a kid who thought money was magic, a father who let him believe it, and a judge who decided to teach them both the difference between cash and character. But to explain how we got to that pin drop moment under fluorescent lights and marble columns, I've got to roll back to the first Monday of spring semester, right after lunch, when Sterling Vaughn tried to buy me like a Gucci belt. Sterling, 16, glossy blonde hair, latest McLaren parked across 2 handicap spots because, quote, the lines are just guidance. Air Devon Global Properties. If you live in our state, there's a good chance you've walked across a sidewalk his dad owns. He strolls into the cafeteria wearing velvet loafers I'm pretty sure cost more than the minivan my mom drives for DoorDash, plops his tray beside mine, flips his phone camera so it's selfie style, and announces loud enough for half the room to hear. Marcus, buddy, 10 grand in crypto if you carry my books, open doors, and call me sir. Think of it as career training. Conversation around us stops mid-chew. I can smell the truffle oil on his fries. I breathe on steady because that's what Coach Garrison taught me on the track team. Calm heart, clear shot. Then I say, not for sale, Sterling, and neither is my dignity. Now move your tray, you're blocking my flashcards. His cheeks tint pink, then red expensive sunburn under cafeteria LEDs. He mutters, you'll regret it, gathers his embarrassment, stalks off. Laughter bubbles from a few tables, but mostly folks just go back to gossip and group projects. I shove the whole exchange out of my head. AP Kim waits for no one. Turns out rich boy rage ages like milk. Last bell, hallway C, blue lockers, gum-stained floor. Sterling slams me so hard my shoulder dents a locker door, hisses the N-word he thinks adults don't know he knows. Then slides a chunky Rolex into my backpack and tips off administration like a snitch with a halo. 10 minutes later, I'm in Dean Morales' office, security guard behind me, accusation hanging in the air like rot. Cameras save me grainy footage showing Sterling's hand in my bag, yet the real Tory is muted because rumors travel faster than Eve K. Suspension lifted, sure, but my name still tastes like scandal to half the school. Press sorry, Kingsley calls Sterling's stunt serious in a press release, mostly because parents threaten legal action. Sheriff's deputies slap cuffs on him after homeroom Friday. I watch through the window as they guide him to a cruiser, designer blazer flapping as he tries to shrug out of their grip. Part of me feels VY indicated. Part of me feels nothing like justice is too cold to warm a wound. Fast forward 2 months, arraignment morning. The courthouse smells of lemon cleaner and recycled air. Reporters line the hallway, microphones ready to slurp sound bites. Sterling floats in wearing a midnight blue suit, shoes buffed to mirror shine, father flanking him like a silent bank vault. Mr. Gregory Vaughn's a man who tips with $100 bills and never looks waitstaff in the eye. Today, he stares straight ahead, jaw flexing, as though the whole building's an inconvenience. Inside, the bench belongs to Judge Isaac Monroe, tall, silver-streaked hair, voice like cedar and thunder at once. Rumor says he turned down corporate law twice because a black robe's lighter than a golden handcuff. Gavel drops, case called, and Sterling leans back, feet actually propped on the table edge, as if he's binge-watching court for fun. Gasps ripple. Bailiff's brow knots. Judge Monroe studies him with the calm curiosity of a surgeon examining an infection. Mr. Vaughn, the judge begins, you face charges of assault and criminal fabrication. How do you plead? Sterling honest to God yawns and whispers to his lawyer loud enough for row 3, tell him not guilty, and tack on a donation to his re-election fund. Monroe tilts his head, one eyebrow raised. Counsel, control your client. Lawyer clears throat. Your Honor, the defendant pleads not guilty on all counts. Sterling grins, tosses an imaginary coin. I feel my stomach knot. This isn't arrogant side's faith in a broken system. The prosecutor rolls security footage Sterling shove wying me, planting the watch, boasting on Snapchat, just framed that charity case. Audio echoes through oak paneling. Jury's eyes widen. Sterling picks lint off his cuff, bored. Lunch break arrives. I head to the vending machines, palms sweaty. A woman stops, MEPRIS badge clipped to her blazer. Marcus, right? Scholarship student? Victim. I tense. She leans in. Off the record, do you think justice actually exists for kids like you? I muster a half smile. Ask me after the verdict. Back in session, Sterling doesn't just cross the line, he torches it. Judge Monroe reminds him for the third time to keep both feet on the floor. Sterling snorts. Relax, Judge Diversity. My dad owns the building you work in. Practically makes me your landlord. The courtroom inhales, collective shock. Monroe's gavel cracks. Mr. Vaughn, you are hereby found in contempt. Sterling shrugs. Bill, my father. Gregory Vaughn rises, voice silky. Your Honor, surely we can resolve this amicably. Monroe's stare would freeze magma. Sit down. Now comes the part nobody saw coming, not even Sterling. Monroe calls a 5-minute recess, returns with a thin file. Defendant's prior sealed school incidents. Turns out Sterling's record reads like a VY Lane origin montage. Cyberbullying, vandalism, hush-hush settlement over a freshman he allegedly coerced into cheating. Monroe asks the jury to consider pattern of BHA VY or defense objects. Objection overruled, precedent allows it under character VY Denke rules. Suddenly Sterling's swagger slouches. He whispers to Dad. Dad whispers back, but whatever comfort he offers looks brittle. Closing arguments. Prosecutor paints Sterling as a predator of convenience, using wealth as both sword and shield. Defense argues teenage impulsive VY tie, claims roughhousing gone wrong, suggests community ser VYC at a children's hospital. Sterling smirks at that volunteerism must sound like peasantry. Judge Monroe dismisses jury. 43 minutes later they returned, guilty on all counts. Audible gasp. Sterling's shoulders cave an inch. Sentencing phase starts next day. Courtroom packed tighter than a Black Friday checkout line. Monroe steps through guidelines, eyes scanning papers, but his voice aims straight at Sterling's ego. Your conduct demonstrates calculated cruelty and a belief that money exempts you from morality. This court disagrees. Defense begs for probation plus therapy. Prosecutor asks for maximum juvenile detention of 2 years. Monroe folds his hands. Mr. Vaughn, please stand. Sterling rises, palms sweating through imported cotton. 2 years in state juvenile facility, immediate remand, no bail, eligibility for early release contingent on completion of restorative justice program plus documented BHAV oral reform. Gavel slams. Sterling's mouth drops, soundless. Dad's face drains color. Sterling sputters. I'm rich. You can't. Bailiffs cuff him mid-sentence. Tears streak across 1,000-thread count bravado. He reaches for his father. Gregory steps forward, then stops, helpless. For the first time, I see true fear in Sterling's eyes, fear of a world that doesn't take Venmo. They march him past the rail. He locks onto me through the blur, mouth shaping words. I'm sorry. I'm not surprised at how light my chest feels. Media frenzy explodes, heir to billion-dollar empire sentenced, judge school's spoiled teen. Some call the sentence harsh, others praise it as long overdue. At Kingsley, kids whisper less about money, more about merit. Teachers suddenly care how I'm doing. My mailbox fills with scholarship offers. Weeks later, I get a letter with juvenile facility stationery. Sterling writes he scrubs kitchen floors, shares a bunk, attends empathy workshops, reads books because there's no Wi-Fi. He says the first night an older kid told him, money's nothing and here respect is the real currency. Sterling ends with, I finally understand what I tried to take from you. Hope it's not too late to say I was wrong. I sit with the letter. Part of me wants to frame it as proof that consequences work. Another part knows redemption's a long road, and 2 years is just mile one. Still, people can change, right? I fold the paper, slide it into a textbook, carry on. Now, whenever I walk past locker C-112, dent still there, I run my fingers over the metal. I remember how quickly a shove can become a trial, how a single camera saved me, how a judge's resolve reshaped a dynasty's heir, and I wonder which tiny moments tomorrow will hinge on. So let me ask you, have you ever watched PRI leg crash into accountability? Do you think the sentence was justice or an overreach? Drop your take in the comments. No holding back. Smash that like if you believe character beats cash every time. Share this story with anyone who needs reminding that respect can't be bought. And hit subscribe for more real-life tales where truth finally gets the microphone. Until next time, stay grounded, stay kind, and remember, integrity may not sparkle, but it never depreciates.